What's going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video, and today I'm going to be exploring some parts of Quezon City. Now keep in mind, Quezon City is actually the biggest municipality in the Metro Manila. There's many neighborhoods, but I'm going to focus partly, I guess, like the central district of Quezon City. You know, I'm being nearby, but I haven't been to some of the main streets around here. So I'm right now by Edsa, by the GMA area. I'm going to walk towards East Avenue and try to make it towards Matalino Street to see what's going on, and probably shortcut towards Quezon City Circle, which I made a video there like 2 years ago. But I'm going to see what are the vibes over there, so without further ado, join me. As you can see, it's pretty busy out here today. So I'm trying to rush, you know, before the rain comes. I got my umbrella over here. But the weather's pretty unpredictable. Yesterday it was supposed to rain, and it was sunny. It only rained like a little bit, so I'm just going with the flow. But you know, I got the plan B here just in case if anything happens. That's the Philippines for you, you know. Keeping an eye on the clouds. A lot of action going on. This will be like an overpass for me to cross the other side of East Avenue, and then I'll make it towards my destination. I think it's gonna be a long walk, even though in the map it looks like it's not too far. But I'm ready for, you know, the challenge and stuff. Thankfully today it's not really that hot, but let's see how it is when I finish my walk. I'm probably gonna be all sweaty in the humid weather. But this is the overpass that I'm gonna cross right here. So here I am crossing the bridge. You can see part of Green Hill at the end, and this is East Avenue, which I'm gonna walk it towards the other side. There should be a couple of hospitals over there too. There goes a jeepney, but now getting the walk started in East Avenue. Let's see how far I gotta walk before I hit Matalino Street. But I think they got like all the business district in Quezon City. The city hall's around that area too, so. And I think they do like a lot of festivals around there, so. But yeah, let me keep walking a little bit straight. Ahead of me is Matalino Street. I don't know if you merge into one of the regular streets, there's a lot of trees. So, like I mentioned in some of my previous videos, Quezon City is some of the nicest municipalities throughout the Metro Manila. You know, they got like nice streets, you know, with trees, a lot of residential areas. So, you know, it can take you literally like forever to explore this entire city out here. So this is what you get. I see a tall building ahead of me, and then this is the highway. Not too much traffic, but if you're going to Quezon Avenue, that one's filled up with traffic jam, you know, it's a pretty busy avenue in the city. Seems like over here it gets a little bit busier. We got the famous Chow King. One thing you gotta watch where you walk, because some of the streets are not well paved like you would get back home in the States. I think I'm gonna merge into some of the streets here to see how it turns, like regular streets, and then make it back towards the main avenue. I guess around here they have like a lot of medical facilities, governmental offices, so that might explain why there's a lot of people out here. Of course, you can't forget the famous Jollibee, which we have it all over the Philippines. It's an icon out here. I think I'm gonna merge in this street ahead of me. It looks like it's pretty interesting, called V Luna Street. And I see like a couple of trees out here. It's actually getting a little bit hot. There's a nice looking building in the corner too, so this building looks pretty interesting, the architecture. And then you see the busy motorcycles out here, so I detour over here to see what are the vibes. More action happening here than East Avenue. We got business to my right side, restaurants, coffee joints. I really love the coffee out here in the Philippines, and I'm literally sharing this with the motorbikes and stuff, so gotta watch where I walk. But I think a block ahead of me, I'm probably gonna merge into one of the regular streets, but it's gonna be a little issue for me to cross the street. So, because I don't see no signal lights out here, so I think I made a little bit of a mistake. But we're here to very crazy crossing the street, so I think I'm becoming a little bit of a pro. But yeah, but let's see what's happening ahead of me. And here you see what's going on, you know. Like a lot of traffic. It is actually really humid too. Wow. That's pretty normal out in the Philippines. Every time I go out a block, I end up bathing in sweat. And I'm not a guy that really sweats that much, so. But here, this is going to be the spot where I cross the street and see what some of the regular streets look like. And then I head it back again towards the East Avenue. Here we got a restaurant. Lechon, wow. That's pretty interesting. But now I want to cross over here. And here's another regular street. More residential over here, so a little different vibe when you exit like the main street. But we'll see what's going on. I tell you, every street in the Philippines is pretty worth to explore. You can find residential vibes, you can find like a regular, I don't know, barangay street, or you can find a street filled out with restaurants. I think it's gonna get actually nicer a little bit ahead of me, so I guess the closer you get towards Matalino Street area, the nicer it actually gets. Like here, you see some buildings. Jesus, why the Philippines is so humid? But that's okay. That's what you expect when you're in a tropical country, you know. Got some establishments right here. Nice looking building. And there's more ahead of me over here, so I see some nice looking buildings ahead of me, so let's walk towards that district. I like these buildings. The way how they build, looks like it's an office facility. And this is really cool. Tell you, Quezon City has a lot to offer too. Like a lot of foreigners, they really don't venture around this area, but there's like so many districts over here to explore. So got a car wash over here, washing like the cars and everything. So yeah, that's why there's soap in the street. There's a car wash over there. So you can come and bring your car over here and they'll literally take care of it and wash your car. So, you know, seems like they got a condo over here too. So look at these nice looking apartment buildings over here. Nice. The condos, and there's a sign that would take you to Kalayang Avenue. Kalayang Avenue passed by the circle too, so I think I should just walk this straight instead of doing East Avenue, because it seems like there's more action or more interesting things for me to film out here. And Taste of Beans Coffee. But yeah, just gonna do a little review in my Google Maps to see what's going on, and I'll continue my trek towards Matalino. Ahead of me, I've seen some tall buildings. I think it's actually the Quezon City Hall. I can't see it from a distance, but I see the sign. So I guess it's kind of like the downtown area of Quezon City. But like I said, Quezon City is just super massive. You know, they got some pretty interesting districts out here. Like they got Eastwood City, they got Araneta Center in Cubao. They got the Tomas Morato Avenue, which I filmed there. You know, and it's a really cool neighborhood and a really nice nightlife. You know, super chill. But yeah, Quezon City really has a lot of beautiful areas for you to explore, you know. But yeah, I think this street over here is much better than going East Avenue. Even though in the East Avenue, I think they got like a big hospital, but I'm gonna see what's happening like literally ahead of me. So, and you see what's going on. Of course, they got the spaghetti wires. I love the colors of the houses here. They got them blue, white, some of them yellow, you know. Built out in concrete. It's a nice looking house here to my right too, with gate. Here you see, they got the gate boarded up. I'm not sure if somewhere around here they're probably building like like the underground subway. It's a little bit far from the MRT, you know. But then they got the tricycles that you could take for a few pesos and they'll get you, you know, around depending what barangay you are. So nice looking house over here in the street too. Yeah, but I think it gets actually nicer here. There's a hotel here. I think it's better if I cross the street. Yo, this area is cool. This is a hotel over here. So that's pretty dope. But yeah, here's nice. You see, I can see the buildings and stuff. So, you know, I've been to the Philippines a couple of times. I'm staying longer here, and I never knew about this area. I found out in social media that Quezon City had an area like this, which is not too far from the park. So it seems like this is a new building they built over here. I like this area a lot. See? Super local, super chill. Okay, this is all like condos and residences. And within the block ahead of me should be Matalino Street. I see the tall building. You can literally see that tall building from the GMA MRT station. So, but yeah, this is another tower right here. It's pretty nice. Let me see if I can walk around here doing the sidewalk. So, well, at least we got a comfortable sidewalk to walk. So I think a block ahead of me is gonna get pretty interesting, probably a little bit more busyness happening. And look at this over here, I like this building. So happy to be back and so happy to call this place my base, you know. Like I said, I'm gonna be traveling other countries around, so for my Filipino people, don't be scared if I'm leaving the country. I'm just traveling around to explore more, and then I come back here, you know. Farewell place. I passed a couple of restaurants, and they do have a few joints out here that are really good. But yeah, look, they got Korean snack food. Then here, chicken inasal namit. Tons of inasal joints over here. One of my favorite Filipino chicken. And then there's a fast food if you crave fast food, McDonald's. But like I said many times when I film abroad, Even the fast food joints out here or in other countries abroad outside the United States taste much better. And I'm not gonna say like it's healthier, but they don't use like the ingredients that we use back home in the States. So, but wow, they got a lot of restaurants over here that are really cool. So, within the block of me should be Matalino. This is a dessert joint, Goldilocks, and the modern McDonald's. And that's Matalino Street right here. The block behind should be the City Hall, so I'm gonna walk Matalino towards my right until the ending and then merge back to another street to see what's going on. This is it. Wow, look at all the trees out here. So super chill, you know. And that's a fast food at the 7-Eleven. I tell you, over here driving is another level, but I drove here a few times, so. But yeah, so I guess a lot of people who work around here, that's why you see a lot of busyness and activity, so. And then we got this tall building over here. But yeah, pretty busy area over here. But just be careful while I walk. We got vendors over here. There's more over that way, so I'm probably gonna walk over that way later to see what's going on. So, oh, look at this. It's kind of like one of those CBDs, Central Business District. Like I told you, the Metro Manila is filled with Central Business District. So, and this is a really tall building. Right over here, and then they got Kentucky Fried Chicken, which you rarely see that back home in the States, but they're out here striving, you know, going pretty hard. There's a nice looking building in the back too. Wow, I'm loving this area. What is this? House? Oh, this is nice. Hello. And they got the bike lane. Yeah, I like this area. It's actually pretty lit though, so you know, it's pretty cool. And look over here, Sweets. One of my favorite coffees, WCC Park Cafe. Keeps going over here. I think at the end is where I merge. I think Calayan Avenue should be there ahead of me. So that's what I say when I mentioned one of my previous videos, you know, don't skip the Metro Manila. There's so many areas for you to explore, you know. But yeah, really cool, and nobody bothers you. It's super safe. Of course, like any other place, things happen, but if you respect the locals, then I think you're really gonna have like a good time out here. The Popeyes over there. All the fast food chains that you get back home, you can get here in the Philippines. So, you know, I say in the Philippines, you'll never get hungry. And if you're a picky eater, they got like all types of varieties of food. Of course, they got the local joints, but they also got like fast food chains, you know, whatever you're craving. Even, you know, literally like food that you get back home, they have it over here. I even see a Seattle's Best Coffee and a Kenny Rogers out here. So, yeah, this area over here is literally like really lit and pretty dope. So if you're gonna do like a block or more ahead and then merge back towards another street that I think is gonna be really cool for me to walk around and explore. And then by the City Hall, there should be like an underpassage that takes me straight into Quezon City Circle. So we're gonna do that, you know. I already covered that area a few years ago, but I wanna go back like for an update video to see what's going on out here. Then we got like a lechon joint right here, then a business called Pure Gold Jr. ahead. So I think over here is where I cross the street and I'll merge to the other street. Wow, I even got Burger King, so it's like a competition of fast food joints right next to each other. So the Philippines never cease to amaze me, man. A lot of action happening over here, you know. And this is busy Calayan right here, but I gotta go this way. But yeah, you see all the action. My mission is gonna be crossing the street. So I'm just gonna brave it. Let's go. You just gotta push and the people will stop for you. Yep, they stop. Now let's do it the other block to see what's going on, but 360 view. Nice, right? Yeah, this area is actually pretty busy. Yo, the sun is literally kicking in pretty hardcore out here. But to be honest, I think due to the heavy rain that we've been getting over here every day, that is what's causing literally like the humidity over here. So, but yeah, if you look at my arms, they're literally shiny. Busy over here, I think I'm gonna walk over this street. Quezon City, what's that, chapter? I guess it's like a little doctor joint. So this is like a regular street, but they got all the motorbikes parked out here. This will take me where the City Hall is, so I'm gonna pass by it and then make it in the underpasses towards the local park. So I think all of these buildings here is the Quezon City Hall combined. So it's mostly municipal buildings, you know, people working out here in the community. But I think within a block ahead of me, it should be more interesting. I should be able to shortcut in the underpass that would take me towards the park. And I'm passing by this tall building over here. Trying to get a little bit of shade also from the heat. But yeah, so the city hall is in the other side, but I'm not sure if I can just walk by. So I'm just gonna make the longer route towards East Avenue and then shortcut towards a block or two ahead of me to pass by a local park. And then I think if I go underground, it should be where it connects me towards the park. Back here in East Avenue, these are trees over here and shades. But yeah, it's mostly like a municipal building, city hall over there. So they got like these gates and stuff, you know, not sure if they're private. I'm just trying to shortcut. I see a sign here, Matalino and Visayas Avenue. So maybe I get a shortcut here and pass by where the park is and go in the underpassage. So it's gate 10, so let's see, let's find out. And the circle is like right ahead of me, but it's a busy highway, so there should be, like I say, a way for me to get towards the other side. It's starting to get a little dark too, so hopefully it doesn't pour some rain. But yeah, I like how well preserved they have this sidewalk over here, you know, the cobblestones and trees. Oh, then over here, they got a bike lane. So you can bring your bike and bike, but the people are literally walking in the bike lane when you could be walking around here. But yeah, this area is actually really dope. Like I said, the park is on the other side, so I'm gonna figure my way how to get towards the other side. It's gonna check on my Google Maps and figure it out. And this way is City Hall, all the way down that way. But then I think over here is underpassage. So let me just check it out. Kind of like they have in Makati. Yeah, down here. So down here I can walk and it'll take me straight into park. Wow, they put it pretty beautiful. Street art and everything, with nature. This is dope. Now let's see what it looks like underneath. It's actually called the Belmonte Underpass. And then you can see I'm surrounded by beautiful art. So it's really cool how they beautify the area out here. And then this is it, wow. They do a good job to keep it nice and clean. I love it, wow, I'm impressed. Oh wow, they got even this wild pig. Guess it's all the species that you can find in the Philippines, because it's over 7,000 islands over here, so you literally can find everything under Paradiso. And I'm assuming that in my left should be upstairs. And there's all the stairs up. It's also beautified with street art. So you can see it looks pretty cool and dope. And then now we're making it to street level, so I gotta figure my way, the entrance to the park. Quezon City Circle. I think it's over this way. So I'm inside the circle. I didn't know, but I had to get a permit to film. So you know what? I followed the rules. I went inside. Very friendly, you know, security was super friendly with me. And, you know, they told me if I want to film the park, you know, blog it, you know, and upload it to my channel, just get a permit. So now I just got to figure my way. How the heck do I get inside the park? Yeah, I'm going to go the other way. Just trying to film the circle. It's been so long since I've been here, so I'm trying to remember. This is a video from the future. I just wanted to add up. I forgot to mention this, but not only I needed like a permit, you know, to film around the Quezon Memorial Circle, but I also had to pay a fee of 1,000 pesos, which is roughly like about $18, 20 US dollars, you know. I'm not sure if that's new right now, you know. I think it says it in the web page, but, you know, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but if you guys are thinking about filming over there, you know, not only you got to get a permit, but you got to pay that fee, you know. So, you know, the only reason I did it was because I walk a long distance and I already have my plans for the day to film in that area. So that's why I did it, but just keep that in mind. So now, continue with the video. So here to see, you got a lot of cool stuff out here. They got a playground, you know, they got some areas where you can get food over here. And I like how they have a lot of trees. I think I'm just gonna shortcut over here. I don't think I walked this side the last time I came. But it's actually like a pretty big park, you know, and pretty easy for you to get lost, you know. Because the thing about Metro Manila, it's like it literally lacks, you know, of parks. But yeah, here you can do your workout, exercise, and it's pretty spacious. I see a couple of people here doing exercise, mostly a lot of young people, teenagers and stuff. I'm trying to figure my way to the center of this park. Super big and easy for you to get lost out here, but I think it's over this way. Also, I'm noticing a lot of cats. Like I say, cats are sacred out here in Asia. So if you love cats, you will love Asia, you know. It's literally like a cat over here. I don't know if you can see it. Just chilling, enjoying the weather, even though it's hot. Yeah, I think the memorial's over this way. And they got like gardens and things around. So, you know, it's a really beautiful park and a good job that they do here to maintain it. Pretty nice and organized, you know. So it's more over this way. Seems like this over here is a memorial. Nice. Got all the flags over here, you know. Foreign countries' flags, you know, but they're not waving right now, so. And it seems like they did a couple of renovations over here. They got the CR, the restrooms. I think if I make it over that way is where I want to go. And over here they got like an open plaza. It's not too busy now. Maybe in the evening it'll get more packed. It's mostly a lot of college students because I think University Philippines Diliman campus is right here. And then this is the icon right here. The Quezon Memorial Circle with the Filipino flag. Wow, it's beautiful. I was able to get a little close the last time I came here. But yeah, this is pretty nice, you know, a lot of people, you know, a lot of foreigners, they really don't venture around here, but this is really nice. I can actually see the buildings of EDSA too. But yeah, this is another park. While a lot of people, they go to Rizal Park or Luneta Park, which is awesome. This is another nice park right here in Quezon City that I figure a lot of people should, you know, check it out and explore. Usually in the mornings, there's a lot of people that come here and they do their recreational activities, exercise and everything. But yeah, Quezon City is coming in, you know, pretty hardcore, a lot of developments. And then in this area, they have an area over here where you can do exercise. I'm gonna show you, there's a lot of trees and a lot of people, they chill out here. You can see how it is, peaceful and quiet. This is pretty big in person. The video doesn't do us any justice. And then over here, people just doing exercise, a group and everything, so nice. I like how they do a lot of things for the community out here. Let me just walk a little bit around here. It's just peaceful, the trees. I don't remember, there used to be an area where they sell food. I think it was in the other side, like around here. I ended up buying a dessert. I don't want to say the name because it's literally like a bad word in our language in Spanish, but I know it's a good language in Tagalog. But it ends up with boom bomb. So, you know, the purple yam and with a little coconut on top, some cheese in it. So you guys know, if you're Filipino, you know what I'm talking about. But this is the art right here. Pretty iconic. I'm not sure if you could get close over there. I think you could. Because if that's the case, they would have put a fence here to avoid me from getting right down here. So I was gonna get a little bit close. If the security stops me, then I'll just back up. But I just want to show you how massive this is. Like, this doesn't really do justice in the picture or the video. It's super, super tall, this art. I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little embarrassed going in the office. I was sweating. You know, to my beautiful Filipino people, how do you guys don't sweat? Because I go out and the heat has me literally like dripping. So I felt embarrassed asking for a permit and the sweat was literally dripping around me. But hey, that's the beauty, you know. We're just humans, there's things that you can't really control. You just gotta live life to the fullest. But it's been an awesome evening out here in Quezon City, so I think this is gonna be a perfect spot for me to wrap up the video right here. This was like the main reason I wanted to make this video and also explore like the City Hall area. So I think I'm gonna start wrapping up my video over here. So that was the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all and peace.